Hi guys, welcome back. I'm creating this video to give some of my quick indexing tips. If you haven't seen my first two videos, I would highly recommend going and seeing those first, because this will make a lot more sense if you watch those two videos first, because I kind of give a good introduction to indexing. And without watching those videos, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to cover in this video is not going to make much sense to you. But if you've also been an indexer already and are familiar with the process, this will help you without seeing those prior videos. Now, these quick indexing tips are just tips that I've picked up along the way that have helped me become a more efficient indexer. Now, something to keep in mind is that these tips are not meant to make you faster with the quality of your work going down. In other words, if it's making you make more if it's making you make more mistakes and you're not having as correct work, don't use it. This is not supposed to subtract from the quality of your work, because the most important thing is getting it right. So if you start using these tips and you're not actually entering correct data, then it defeats the purpose. So make sure you're always entering correct data and go from there. If it ever infringes on your ability to enter correct data, then stop using them. So let's get right into it. I'm going to go into this Pennsylvania batch. It's a federal census that I've been working on. I'm 21% done with it, and we're going to work on that. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind. The first that I want to show you, and you should do this, just get in the habit of doing this. The first thing that will help you so much in indexing correctly and in indexing efficiently is adjusting your highlights. Make sure that whenever you come into a new document, you just go quickly and adjust your highlights. I promise you it will make your speed so much faster, and you'll be much more efficient and effective as you index, because now you can see these fields are exactly over where you need them to be. And if you didn't notice, I actually like to line up my highlights just a little bit outside the lines, because I found that these fields will be more lined up with the rest of the document if it's just right outside the lines. So that right there, whether you use any of the other tips in this or not, will be of great help to you. So I'm going to go and turn those off now that my highlights are adjusted. Now, the next that I want to tell you about is using the autofill tool. The great thing about family search indexing is that it is very intelligent as a program. It has been designed to remember things that you type in down in these fields. So Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Germany, those are places that it remembers in these fields. So if I need to type in Pennsylvania again, I can just hit P and it automatically fills it. Or if I need to type in Germany, G, it automatically fills it. That way you don't have to type out every single place every single time. Huge time saver. Use it. Use auto finish to your advantage. Whether you go quickly or not, use autofill. I haven't typed this particular one in yet, so it didn't autofill on that one, but it will on this one. So yeah, I just have to hit I. Now, something important to remember is that as you're going through using that autofill, it will always type in the last place that you used with the beginning letter of whatever letter you're using. So like New Jersey. If I had New York down here, over here, if I had a place that said place of birth New York, and my last place that I had used beginning with the letter N was New Jersey, it will autofill New Jersey down here. So you got to make sure that it's correct when it autofills before you hit tab and move on, because otherwise that makes autofill useless, because it's making it incorrect. But so just always make sure your work is correct down here with what it's saying up here. Simple enough. The next thing is use tab. Use tab as you're going along. Tab will help you out so much. You don't have to use the mouse. I rarely use the mouse. I'm usually using tab, the keyboard, and the arrows to navigate my way around this thing. I'm not using the mouse. I rarely use it unless I need to actually click to a specific field. So keep your hands on the keyboard. use the keyboard and the ability to navigate with it, and learn to do that. And it might take a little bit of getting used to. That's okay. No worries. Just get used to it. It will help you so much to become a quicker indexer. Okay, so watch here. Here's what I was talking about. Boom. It automatically fills it in just with one letter. And there's so many things on here that only require one letter, like sex, color, just because it automatically fills in on the color. I know it's white, but every time you just have to hit W, it automatically fills it in. Marital status is one letter. They've really set this up to make it very quickly for you. So after you learn to use the keyboard using just one letter to fill in most of the fields, you can really go through this quickly with the autofill option. Now, another thing is get in a rhythm. You know, as you go along, I'll see, here's a time when I need to use the mouse. As you get going along, get in a rhythm. You know, keep your eye on the highlight. That's why you adjusted the highlights in the beginning, was so that you could keep your eye on the highlight and type. So, as you go along, keep your eye on that highlight, and then get in a rhythm. Just get going. You know, the best way to get faster at indexing is by doing it. Bottom line, that's the simplest way to get better at it, is by doing it. And see, it's so nice because it also automatically fills it in there. It assumes that this person here is related to the person previous, so it automatically filled in the last name for me. I didn't even have to type that in. That's great. It adds to the speed. George F. Okay, so son, male, white, 45, single, Pennsylvania, Germany, Pennsylvania. So you see, and then you can just get in a rhythm as you go along. Francis G. Another thing to remember as you're going along is don't get too hung up on a name or a word. Okay, if you can't understand what it's saying up here, don't get hung up on it too much. Use the lookup tool. Okay, use the lookup tool. You can do this. It is so helpful. Starts with P, ends with A, and then it brings up all of the places that begin with P or end with A or has, or if you can only make out letters in the middle, you can put in those, and it will bring up options for you. Sometimes it doesn't bring up an option for you. Sometimes it's not in their system yet, so make your best guess and then move on. They have people who will double check your work. You do obviously want to make sure that you are correct as closely as you can get to it, but don't get too hung up. That will mess up your rhythm, and you want to keep the rhythm going quickly if you want to index faster. So as you're going along, that's another thing. Like I said, make sure it is correct. Another great tool that I have used in the past to help me, as I'm over here with this place of birth, sometimes I can't make out what these places say, but I can you know, I can kind of make out some letters. So what I'll do is I'll actually bring up an internet browser, and I actually have a website that I go to called bycitylight.com, and I have it right here on my toolbar. So I just have to click it, and it takes me right to the website. So, you know, go ahead and copy this link. Copy it exactly, because it's going to be helpful to you, especially in the United States. Because all you have to do if you want to change the state, what this site has is it has pretty much all of the cities that have been or are in a state. So it's pretty helpful if you can't make out what a city or state says. Because sometimes they have cities over here. But if you type in another state like New York, all you have to do is come up here where Pennsylvania was, type in New York and hit enter, and then it brings up all of the cities associated with New York. Now you can also use Google Maps. That is helpful as well, and that's another helpful way to identify cities and places where people were born. So I hope that this is helpful to you. They're just some simple quick tips. Like I said, make sure that your information is correct down here first of all, and Hope you guys have a good time with this. Bye.